54 laps to go in the Tropicana 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway. Kevin Harvick is out in front, but does he have enough fuel to make it to the finish? Moment ago, coming back to the caution flag, Joe Nemechek was leading. Ward Burton in the cat car, gold and black machine, was trying to get a lap back from him.
Well, 29 car, all those cars backed off to let Ward Burton and a couple other cars get their lap back, John Andretti, but the 33 car did not back off. And Ward Burton didn't like that too much. Went up and said, hey, man, why don't you back off? Let me have my lap back.
And that really, I mean, you know, we have a gentleman's agreement out there with each other. And really, you know, I can see Ward's frustration there. He's been trying real hard to get that lap back. I can see why he'd be mad.
You can see why he'd be mad, but Joe Nemechek is under no obligation.
Absolutely. Yeah, Joe didn't do anything wrong there, but the tables could be turned somewhere down the line. And when Joe needs to get his lap back, Ward probably not going to let it happen.
And that's one way that racing really varies from 25 years ago, because 25 years ago you gave nobody a lap back.
Pit road, Marty Snyder.
Well, Alan, one of the guys trying to stretch it all the way is Elliott Sadler. He's in 16th. Pat Tyson is his crew chief. And Pat, can you make it all the way? You stopped with 73 to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can go all the way, but I think there's about 4 or 5 others that go all the way now. They topped off a couple laps after us. But we'll see what happens. We're going to try to win it. Hopefully it stays green.
They can go all the way. The caution laps did help. They were close before, but those last caution laps we had just made the deal for them. Let's go to Bill Weber.
With Mark Martin's crew chief, Jimmy Fennick, can you make it to the end?
Yeah, we're going to be close, but we'll be good. You know, Jack's been working hard on fuel mileage, but everything looks good right now.
Just a few laps ago, Mark Martin called in and said, we're not coming in, right? And Jimmy said, that's right, we're going all the way. Mark Martin hasn't been to victory lane since April of last year at Martinsville. He hasn't had back-to-back top 5 finishes in a year. In fact, 1 year ago this week, top 5 at Daytona, followed by a top 5 at Loudon. They're going to try and do it on fuel mileage.
Third place, Jeff Gordon has caught Joe Nemechek.
Right now, Nemechek is battling those worn tires. He has great track position, but the tire's just not getting as much grip as Jeff Gordon's. Check their speed down the backstretch. And you can see the car's about the same speed, 192 for both cars. As they come through the corner and hit the straightaway, these speeds will start accelerating. Down to turn 1, the fastest point of the racetrack. 192, 193 miles per hour in 1.
Got to chase it up the hill there.
See how, you know, Jeff really ran him down pretty quick. But then you get to the arrow push. You get behind that car, and it's hard to cut underneath the guy getting off the corner. That's what Jeff's struggling with right now.
Well, you know, I hate that term. I just hate it, because and I've heard you say this before, BP. You don't want to steal your line, but arrow push translated to English means
poor racing.
Poor racing. Hard to get by a guy when you catch him, even if you got a faster car.
Oh, Nemechek really drove it down in the corner that time so hard. As a matter of fact, he drove it so hard he couldn't keep it down.
When you're looking up in the mirror and you got a guy on your tail, and you're going, man, I got to bring this thing in a little bit deeper, and that's what happens. You overdrive the car a little bit, you make a little bit of mistake, and a guy like Jeff Gordon is going to capitalize on that.
While you're watching Gordon move up to third, Kevin Harvick has moved away from him by 4.7 seconds. Harvick also well in front of Jimmy Spencer. He's got about 1.7 seconds on Spencer. Meantime, as far as the championship picture is concerned, Ricky Rudd is 8th, Dale Jarrett is 9th. And we drop back to get a look at Rudd. He's trying to get 7th spot away from Rusty Wallace, and here he comes.
Man.
Low. Looking low.
That was a great run that Ricky Rudd got off turn 4, but he was not able to capitalize because Rusty Wallace, with that great Larry Wallace power, just nailed the accelerator.
Outside by half.
And drove away.
Clear.
Rusty having to get around the Ward Burton lap car. That's Earl Marvin, Rusty's spotter. Let's talk about this fuel thing for a minute. Oh, the farthest up.
I was watching that too, Alan. That was almost a crash as they were 3 wide for just a second at the start-finish line.
Starting to say the farthest of anyone who's topped the fuel off is Mark Martin, and he's just taken 13th place away from Jeremy Mayfield.
And I talked to Mark Martin this morning, that length in the garage area, and I tell you what, that young man was so frustrated by the last 3 days he just almost couldn't stand it. Third, he said his car was perfect. Friday was junk. Saturday was junk. See, he said, we did something today for this setup that I've never done before in my life. We have a lot of split in the rear springs. He said, I'm just going to go crazy and see if we can't get this thing to get around the racetrack.
43 to go. Kevin Harvick leads the Tropicana 400. Our Pepsi race recap. It has been a rough and rugged Tropicana 400 for some. Lap 23, hard crash for Mike Skinner after a cut right front tire. He's been taken to the hospital, a possible broken ankle. Steve Park's engine let go at lap 137. He's out of the race. Lap 186, ahead, Buckshot Jones loses control, slaps the outside wall with the driver's side of his car. He is reported to be doing okay in the infield medical center. Then Todd Bodine, after losing a lap, getting it back, has a spin off of turn 4. He still stayed on the lead lap after doing a great job of driving to not hit anything. And now we're under caution once again at lap 229. Debris off most likely Jeff Burton's car.
Looks like he lost the tread on the right front tire. This is on board with Jeff Burton. He made an unscheduled pit stop just before this caution flag came out, and it appeared to have a lot of damage to the right front tire.
So here they come to the opening of pit road. Who pits? Who doesn't? Who does what? Do you take tires? Don't you? Quick guesses. What do you think?
I think they're going to be coming in for fuel.
Everybody?
Yeah.
How about Mark Martin?
But a lot of cars will change 2 tires only, trying to get that track position. Bill Weber, what are they going to do?
Well, we have 2 stories down here. It looks like Spencer could be going fuel only. Jeff Gordon expected to take 2 tires. His car's been a little tight. Spencer will hit first. They need 4 seconds of fuel. 1 pit stall in front of him is the 24 car. Spencer's on his way with his fuel. Gordon getting right side tires. They do make a track bar adjustment. Marty.
Kevin Harvick is in. They only need 6 seconds of fuel. They took no tires. He was very good on that last run, but Jimmy Spencer beat him off pit road.
Look at Tony's going to run in the back of Dale Jarrett because these cars have to stop and let all the cars that stayed on the racetrack go by before they can get back on the speedway.
But you still have to race to the line. So everybody was jammed up there, and they were still trying to beat the guy out beside him or behind him to the line.
I don't think I want that job of holding that stop-and-go pedal. Certainly not in that situation. Matt Yoakum.
Joe Nemechek playing strategy that he found out in yesterday's Busch race when they only took on left side tires. That's the same thing they did on their final stop. Remember, they had over 80 laps on their left side tires. This is a play in strategy. Joe said it helped his race car yesterday. That's why he was so strong near the end. They're hoping it'll do the same thing again today.
I count 5, well, let me double check, maybe 6 lead lap cars did not pit here. Mark Martin stayed on the racetrack. Matt Kenseth has stayed out on the racetrack. Robert Pressley has not come down pit road. Kurt Busch has stayed out on the racetrack. So those 4 cars are not pitting under this caution. Dave?
And unfortunately, Jeff Burton, who was running 5th at the time, got caught with that tire going down, and when the caution came out, they came in, they changed the right side tires. Now they're going to go back over the wall. They told the gas men, don't go over, because we've got extra men working on the right front, including crew chief Frankie Stoddard. He says he's got the right front done. Jackman is down, and Jeff is down and out of here. Jeff, while he was coming in, kept telling the guys, I still have brakes, I still have brakes. When that tire went loose, it did not damage the brake lines, which is always a concern.
But he's a lap down, right?
He is a lap down, yes.
Yeah, Jeff's back in 28th position and is 1 lap down to race leader Mark Martin, who now comes to the 4. We thought it might happen under green flag pit stops if we got into an economy run at the end. Now Mark is going to stay on the racetrack for position, and he takes over the lead. Matt Kenseth moves to 2nd, Kurt Busch to 3rd, Robert Pressley to 4th, then Spencer and Harvick. 37 laps to go in Chicagoland.